Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, have you ever raised your hands in the darkness of the night and asked Allah for something with all your heart? Perhaps you asked Allah to remove a difficulty from your life. Perhaps you begged Him to heal a loved one. Perhaps you cried in sujood asking for forgiveness, guidance, or relief from a burden that nobody else knew about. Then the days passed, the weeks passed, maybe even months passed. Yet nothing seemed to change. At that moment, many people begin asking themselves difficult questions. Is Allah listening to me? Have my du'as been rejected? Why is my situation still the same? My dear brothers and sisters, never forget this beautiful truth. Allah never ignores a sincere dua. Every tear is seen. Every whisper is heard. Every pain is known. Allah knows what is hidden deep within your heart. Sometimes He answers immediately. Sometimes He delays the answer because the timing is not right. Sometimes He gives you something better than what you asked for. And sometimes He protects you from a harm that you cannot see. Today we are going to discuss 7 powerful signs that may appear when Allah is answering your du'as. The first sign is that your heart begins to find peace. Before making dua, your mind may have been filled with anxiety and fear. You may have spent countless nights worrying about the future. You may have felt overwhelmed by your problems. Yet after sincerely turning to Allah, something changes. The problem may still exist. The challenge may still be there. But your heart feels lighter. Suddenly you find a calmness that cannot be explained by worldly means. This peace is not coming from people. It is not coming from money. It is not coming from circumstances. It is coming directly from Allah. When Allah places tranquility in your heart, it is a beautiful sign that He is taking care of your affairs. Sometimes the first answer to a DUA is not a change in circumstances. Sometimes it is a change within your heart. The second sign is that Allah gives you patience. Many of us ask Allah to remove our difficulties immediately, but sometimes instead of removing the test, Allah strengthens us so we can carry it. There may have been a hardship that you once thought would completely break you, a pain that seemed impossible to endure, yet somehow day after day you kept moving forward. You continued praying. You continued trusting Allah. You continued surviving. That strength was not coming from you alone. It was a gift from Allah. Patience is one of the greatest blessings a believer can receive. Through patience, Allah elevates a person's rank. Through patience, Allah purifies sins. Through patience, Allah prepares His servants for blessings they cannot yet see. If Allah has given you the strength to endure what once seemed impossible, this may be one of the signs that your dua is already being answered. The third sign is that certain doors begin to close. This sign can be difficult to understand because people usually expect doors to open when Allah answers their prayers. Perhaps you wanted a particular job but did not get it. Perhaps you wanted a certain relationship to work but it ended. Perhaps you planned something carefully only to see everything fall apart. At first you feel disappointed. You may even feel heartbroken. But later in life, many people look back and realize that what they lost was actually protecting them from something worse. Allah sees what we cannot see. He knows the future while we only know the present. He knows what is good for us while we often judge things based on emotions. A closed door is not always a rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes Allah is removing something from your path because He intends to replace it with something far better. The fourth sign is that harmful people begin leaving your life. There are times when we become attached to people who are not good for us. We trust them. We care about them. We invest our emotions in them. Then suddenly they disappear from our lives. It hurts. It feels unfair. It leaves us confused. But over time, we begin noticing things we could not see before. Perhaps that person constantly pulled us away from Allah. Perhaps they encouraged bad habits. Perhaps they brought stress, negativity, and emotional pain into our lives. Allah knows the reality of every heart. Sometimes one of the ways Allah answers our du'as is by removing people who are preventing our growth. What feels like a painful loss today may eventually become one of the greatest blessings Allah ever gave you. The fifth sign is that you begin feeling closer to Allah. This is one of the most beautiful signs a believer can experience. You suddenly feel more connected to prayer. You begin enjoying the recitation of the Quran. You find peace in dhikr. You feel sincere regret after committing sins. You become more conscious of Allah throughout your day. Many people spend their lives searching for happiness in wealth, status, fame, and possessions. Yet true peace comes from being close to Allah. When Allah brings you closer to Him, He is giving you something more valuable than anything this world can offer. Money can disappear. Beauty can fade. Positions and titles can be lost. But a heart connected to Allah is a treasure that benefits a person in both this world and the hereafter. The sixth sign is that Allah keeps hope alive inside your heart. You may still be waiting for the answer to your dua. The situation may not have changed yet, but somehow you continue believing. You continue praying. You continue making dua. You continue hoping. This hope is not a small thing. It is a mercy from Allah. Because many people lose hope and walk away from the door of Allah. But if Allah keeps drawing your heart back to Him, if He keeps inspiring you to continue asking, then this itself is a blessing. Every time you raise your hands in dua, it is a sign that your relationship with Allah remains alive. Never underestimate the power of hope. Sometimes hope is the bridge between your current hardship and the blessing that Allah is preparing for you. The seventh sign is that Allah gives you something better than what you originally requested. This is perhaps one of the most beautiful realities of dua. You ask Allah for one thing, but He gives you something completely different. At first, you may not understand why. You may feel disappointed. You may wonder why your original request was not granted. Then months later, or even years later, you look back and realize the wisdom behind Allah's decision. You realize that what you wanted was small compared to what Allah had prepared. You asked for a certain opportunity, but Allah gave you a better one. You asked for a specific person, but Allah protected your heart and guided you towards something healthier. You asked for temporary happiness, but Allah gave you lasting peace. Allah's wisdom is perfect. His knowledge is complete, and His plans are always better than our own. My dear brothers and sisters, never think your dua is wasted. Never think Allah has forgotten you. Never think your tears go unnoticed. The one who created your heart understands every pain within it. The one who created your problem has the power to solve it. The one who hears every whisper knows exactly what you need. Continue making dua. Continue trusting Allah. Continue worshipping Him. Continue believing in His mercy, because Allah never abandons the servant who sincerely turns to Him. One day, whether in this world or in the hereafter, you will see how perfectly Allah answered every sincere prayer you ever made. And on that day, you will realize that Allah's plan was always better than your own. May Allah accept all our duas. May He forgive our sins. May He remove our hardships. May He fill our hearts with peace, patience, and unwavering faith. Ameen ya Rabb al-Alameen.